Hoosier. Backcountry.
Welcome back to Hoosier Backcountry Podcast. This is your host, Seth Whitaker. And as always, we got T-Bone
What's up?
and Cohen.
Here we are.
Cohen,
Yes, sir.
who do we got in the
We got a
house
special
tonight?
guest on today. We got Mr. Jeremy Ison.
What's up?
Welcome to the shit show.
Thank you very much for having me. So,
We've been trying to get somebody on for like 4 weeks. Seven
Finally made it
episodes.
happen.
Episode number 7 now finally made it happen. Got Jeremy on.
what's up?
Jeremy, tell us a little bit how the season is going.
Bad. Real bad. No, it's been good. It's every time I go out there, it's been good. But I got a doe last night, and then I shot a doe early bow season, but still after that big one, of course.
Right. Aren't we all?
Now, is this the one you have on camera multiple times?
Yes.
Are you just
Yeah.
having trouble getting that,
Yeah, if
that routine locked down or what?
yeah, it's mostly at night. You know, he shows his face at night, so it's kind of illegal to hunt him at night. So
Yeah, that tends to be an issue.
yeah.
Dang it.
A lot.
I keep hoping that he shows his face, you know, one of these days. So yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen.
You know, just that matter of time.
We'll get there. Me, I had to talk myself out of shooting a spike.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you guys this
I hate
story.
those conversations with yourself.
Isn't it bad? So the other night, I don't even know if I've told any. Well, I mentioned to you guys in
You
a
mentioned
text,
it to us. Yeah. You
like I did like a self conversation about not shooting this spike. So I get home from work at a reasonable hour. For once, I decided, you know what, I'm not even getting in the tree stand. I don't have time for it. So I grabbed the rifle. I go sit in my stand. Well, then the neighboring property was making all kinds of ruckus, a bunch of assholes over there. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to come up back by the house and hunt this field behind me. So as I come out of the woods, I see there's 2 does, probably 100, 150 yards out in the field. And so I'm kind of preparing because I'm gonna drop on them. One of them's getting hammered. That's just all there is to it. And I like literally had to low crawl across the ground to get to a berm of like a mound of dirt that I've got. So I get there, I get set up, and I like boop, pop my little scope cover open, and it's about to go down.
Wait, you're using a gun?
Shut your fucking mouth. All right.
Just
All
for
right,
the-
I know.
Just for the record.
I know I said, like, oh, I'm going to use a bow. Okay, fuck me, I guess. But so I'm like literally about to take it off safe, and this bitch is about to get smoked. All right. One of the does just clear the field. I'm like, what the fuck? The wind's in my face. I know they didn't smell me. And lo and behold, on the other side of this dirt mound, like 30 yards, this spike comes out, just strutting his shit in the field. And it was a serious conversation I had to not hammer his ass for scaring the does away. I had the scope just right there, right in the boiler room. Had to talk myself out of it, and after the fact, I was like, "Oh, fuck you, motherfucker! I should have just rolled your ass right there. He wouldn't know I hit him, dude." But yeah, he ran my does off. So that's how
Is this
that
the
went.
first time you've seen the spike, or is he
Oh
traditional
no,
around the
dude,
parts?
he's a dick. He likes to show his face everywhere. I seen him like the 2nd or 3rd week of bow season. He came in, I rattled, and he came in hotter than hell, ready, all pissed off, full of piss and vinegar, wanting to fight. And then he just kind of moseyed on. So I've seen him a couple times, but it's like he knows where my cameras are at.
He shows off.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, shows his two little beams straight up in the
little,
air.
little peace sign.
Little fucking
Love and no guns.
Yeah, he's a
22-inch spike.
he's a dick, dude. So, but yeah, he fucked it up for me.
Well, the old Brown household, you know, obviously had a little change in my work schedule. So actually I have a Monday through Friday gig right now, which is kind of strange. So obviously no hunting this week. This weekend, man, straight up rain. Woke up to rain.
It's crappy weather.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to sleep in today. You
Snuggle
know,
with mama.
yeah, snuggle with mama. So yeah, we didn't go out this weekend. But you dang well know this coming, obviously the last weekend of firearm. I love good Thanksgiving morning hunt. That's a tradition almost. So we'll be out Thursday for sure.
I'm bow hunting Tuesday. You already put that in your calendar.
You're bow hunting
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
You
And
know it's
then
still
and then
gun
next
season.
week we're
I don't
gonna
give a
get
shit.
I don't even believe you anymore. I don't even know who you are.
next weekend he's gonna be talking. I should have had my gun with
Yeah.
me. Blah, blah, blah.
I had this freaking boom.
Well, I considered, here's something that I was thinking about. Because I want to shoot deer with bows 10 times out of 10. It's the way it is. But I'm like, I know if I go out there with just a bow, I'm going to see one just out of range. It's going to be the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life, and I wish I had my rifle. So I'm trying to like imagine and picture in my head what I'm going to do to be able to, one, it's not even about like taking the gun and bow out there. Not a big deal. It's about how I'm going to, let's just say I've got my gun in my hand. Okay. And I've got the bow hanging up. How am I going to transition the bow off for the rifle, you know?
Oh,
I've tried that
very quickly.
well, just to fix that issue in the first place is not to create the issue by just taking one.
Which
bow.
I've tried that whole thing about taking your bow and gun at the same time. It never works. Trust me.
We're gonna try.
You can. I'm just saying. I've been there, done that. It's
I
just
agree.
too much of a
agree.
headache.
It's just you don't know what you're arguing with yourself.
And I'm gonna hang on. So it's not like I got a ladder stand that I can like a
All the
2-man.
room.
You know.
Yeah.
And you got to think about this too. You never know this time of year. What if a booner walks out?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want to take a
World
You
look.
want to
record.
be concentrated on that thing and put a good shot. Not, well, what am I going to shoot him with? And-
Now everybody wants to shoot, you know, a freaking 200-inch deer with a
Right,
bow.
of
Everybody
course,
wants to.
of
Everybody
course.
wants to. But I mean, my logic is how can I get one down the most accurate and
Right.
and easiest way? You know,
Right.
200 yards. Yeah,
Easy day.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Grenade launcher. Whatever. You know, whatever.
There might not be any meat left, but
Right.
Right.
But I got him.
So, and another conversation that we struck in our little text messages on the side here, we need to get into tracking dogs.
I got one. I'm. It's in the works.
You know how much
She's-
damn money you could have made this year?
dude? A lot.
Oh my god!
a lot of posts on Indiana Rut
Yeah.
Report and stuff
Whew.
I've seen.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. People are already booking tracking dogs
Yeah.
before season started.
I do
dude.
want to say one thing though, because I don't follow. I think I've been banned from Indiana Rut Report.
No,
I'm
this is
still
not
on-
the one that
I'm still on
we
a
all.
Rut report, but I got banned from the Indiana Whitetails.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the
I-
one that we got banned from.
Okay, so maybe I don't follow them. So I don't follow that one. But Ducks of Indiana, that one, you don't see bad shots and stuff. So that's something I just now noticed. Because you're saying there's a bunch of shots.
No,
bad
no, no,
shots, and-
no. I'm not saying bad shots. It's people posting that they don't want to follow a blood trail.
They want tracking
Oh.
dogs.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't even
Oh,
think
dude.
that a lot of these guys, you know, he's like, my son shot a 6-pointer and he's like, need a tracking dog. And it's probably dead 50 yards in, you know, but I don't think he even knows how to track or,
Oh,
you know,
right.
that's what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
okay.
I might be totally wrong. He might have put a bad shot on it or what, but
Oh, they
I-
just don't want to follow the blood trail.
I can
Or
tell
they
you-
don't know how.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, tracking dogs would be a moneymaker. I'd probably be a millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. I'm surprised we're not already.
Yeah,
But
because we're still not sponsored by anybody.
But could you imagine though? So I mean, really, let's think about it though. So you kill a deer, it runs off. You've already spent how much money before deer season?
is my wife listening to this? Because I,
right. But, you know, you spend a lot of money. I just to be honest, you spend a lot of money to kill a deer, one deer, and then you're gonna go spend around who knows how much on a tracking dog.
yeah, I don't know what
how
they
to.
cost.
I mean,
Jeremy, you
to
know?
me though,
well, it's
tracking-
mine's 8 months old, you know, or 10 months old. I'm sorry, 10 months old, and so she's working. I mean, she's got the nose. I mean, she knows how to do. You know, it's just getting them on there. You know,
Yeah.
getting them on the deer and training them and everything like that. So we're working with her. Hopefully, she does turn out something. But her mom and her grandma are awesome. So
Really?
you know, like I got their bloodline there. So hopefully, you know, she'll turn out to something good. And
what
we'll be
breed?
that millionaire.
right.
You know,
What breed is she?
lab.
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 Okay.
And for like, if, don't get me wrong, if I shot a nice buck, I mean, it doesn't matter, deer period, and put a bad shot on it, and I can't find a blood trail. Yes, I would invest in
Yeah.
finding someone with a dog.
I'm gonna put some effort into it before I call someone though. That's
Right.
You know, that's a big thing. So.
Right, and that's where I was getting at is I'm gonna exhaust all efforts to find it myself before I call.
Yeah, because I feel like
But-
some of these people, their damn ears are still ringing and they're on Facebook looking for a tracking
They're like,
dog,
well, I
dude."
shot one. I need a tracking dog. It's like,
It's still in the stand.
right. So that's what's crazy to me, but you know, whatever. Yes.
What do you
If
do?
you have the money,
Fuck it.
sure, I guess.
Hey, you remember?
If I had one at home though, I probably would. I mean, it would make life easier for you. You know.
I mean,
you know,
yeah.
If you got one at home or whatever.
Right? I mean, I could have used them in the past. Don't get me wrong, but I definitely looked for multiple hours
Yeah.
prior to even, which I didn't know too much about tracking dogs in the first place.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that was really an option. But
Right. Well, you still got to think though. Even though you have a tracking dog, doesn't mean you can go track them right off the bat.
Right.
You still got to give them time.
Right.
It's a dog's gonna push them just as much as a person.
Absolutely.
Push 'em.
Absolutely. If
So-
not more. Yeah.
Right. Right.
right,
So you still got to give them time.
and give them time.
Give them time is always on your side.
Time.
when it comes to deer, you have to wait. I mean, there's my doe I shot this year. I felt like I smoked her. I mean, there was blood like you wouldn't believe. But enough things happened that caught my attention that I wasn't so sure about.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got time to wait. If she's dead now, she'll be dead 3 hours from now.
Right.
So,
Every deer I killed this year, I wanted her to run off a little bit so I can put Liberty on her,
Right.
and yeah, we dropped everything that we, that we tried. I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to be a hard one to track.
right.
I haven't killed one.
So, Jeremy, tell us a little bit about the stories that you guys had this year.
It all started off in youth season. I've got a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old little girls, and they're my hunting buddies. And Brooklyn, Larissa got her deer last year. She got her first turkey this year.
Nice.
Yeah, she said she's retired though. She's done. She's got her deer and her turkey, and she's done.
She's good to go.
Yep, she says she's retired, which is all good. I'm sure when sis gets a little bit bigger one than she got, then it's probably going to be back on. So
Right.
I'm okay with that. But Brooklyn, we went out this year, and it's a funny story because we're sitting in the buddy stand, 2-man stand, and she's right here on my left, and she's getting to that point where it's fidgety. I'm fidgety, I'm getting to that point where I'm just kind of squirming and worming around, and I told her, I said, baby, you gotta sit still, and she's like, and about this monotone too, she's like, I hear something behind us, and I'm like, whoa, you gotta whisper, like, hey, I'm sitting there talking to her, and as I'm sitting there talking to her and looking at her, a little buck comes walking out just like 15 yards from us, and I'm like, hey, and she looks at me and turns directly, looks at me and goes, told you. Like, all right, so you're gonna shoot this thing, or we gonna sit here and argue about it?
We gotta tuck them in, or
yeah. No, she did great. She pulled up on there, and I said, all right, girl, I'm gonna take the safety off. You want him? Yep.
Was this with the crossbow or a firearm?
Her 243.
Okay.
And so I said, I said, I'm gonna click the safety off whenever you're ready, and I went click, and she went bang. I mean, she was on it. And the cool thing is, she got to see it drop. It circled around there in a food plot and dropped right there in the field, so she got to see it. But her cousin, he just killed his first deer this year too. The day before, so we killed hers on Sunday. And Hayden got his on Saturday, so it's a cool weekend for the youth season,
right?
And that's awesome. I think I enjoy hunting with the kids more than I do, I enjoy hunting by myself.
Right.
But that's definitely the way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a good deal. I like seeing youth still hunting because I feel like kids nowadays don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
They just want to play on their Xboxes or phones.
Get them outside. Yeah.
Do whatever, It's cold outside or too hot. They're like,
Right.
yeah, it's air conditioned inside or heated inside. We ain't going out there. Piss on that.
It's that magic too, because when you see a kid shoot their first deer, or a deer in general, you see that excitement and just oh my gosh, what I just do,
Yeah.
in their eyes,
Oh yeah.
and you kind of go back to when you shot your first one,
Right.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I know where she's coming from.
Right.
What's she like about to shake out of the tree?
Oh yeah,
after
I looked at
smacking
the
it?
end of that barrel, and when I gave her the gun, and I said, "Okay, take a breath." I looked at the end of the barrel and was going, and I was like, "Okay, you gotta get your breath together." And she's like, "Okay," and she calmed down. And Larissa was the same way during turkey season,
Yeah.
But they did it. They're my heroes, man. They did good.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. I love the idea of the youth hunts, and I do appreciate it being the weekend before
Absolutely.
firearm
Yep.
comes in.
Yep.
Just give them that
give 'em that
better
chance.
percentage
Yep.
and everything. So
Right.
The first time I took my oldest Larissa, she went youth hunting with us a couple years ago, and we was up in the same stand, and this little, I say little 7-pointer, he's a little over his ears, came in, and I'm like, oh man, like he's coming. I seen him coming crashing through the woods, and she just missed the doe right before that, and I'm like, that's okay, we'll sit there. So I seen this buck coming, and I thought it was my dad at first coming through the woods with the side by side, thinking that she got one, and I'm like, what is he doing? I'm like, man, and I looked up, and it was a buck. I seen horns, and I said, all right, here, get your gun ready. Well, he stepped out in the food plot, and there's 2 coyotes running around there, and I'm like in awe because we see that stuff or we hear about that stuff, but we don't ever see it often,
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you shoot him? And I'm worried about shooting the deer. And then she's like, no, I can't shoot him. So I grabbed the gun and I shot the coyote. I shot the coyote right after that. So, that was pretty cool. And she's like, Daddy, does this happen every time? And I'm like, no. Nah, it happened every time.
Right. Have you heard the story I told about the bobcat in turkey season?
Huh.
Oh, dude. Just kind of playing off of shit you don't really see in the woods too much. Because actually, I didn't say your name or anything, but we talked last week. I think it was last week or the week
It was
before.
last week when you mentioned the story.
About all the bobcats and shit we're seeing. I know you've caught several.
Yeah, the
traps.
guys that group, the guys we trap with, they caught. Well, we caught 3, and then close here home. Close here. They're here and they're thick. I can't wait till Indiana opens that season up.
Oh, I know.
It's a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time because look how many this year. People sending them on Facebook and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple on trail camera. We got several last year. Well, this turkey season, I don't know if you heard the story, but I don't know if I told you off the podcast or not. But first day of turkey season, I had called in a Tom, and he popped his head over the ridge a little bit, and he put it back down some way. I'm waiting for him to get a little further back there, and I'm trying to reposition. I heard crashing to my right. I look over, and there's a bobcat, and he like ran and jumped over top of my lap after this fucking turkey, dude. And I about shit myself.
I was gonna say I would have been changing my camo after that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Because it's only a cat, but dude, like the video you sent me with that plywood over in front of him, you're trying to release him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like,
Yeah, he's not a pretty little kitty cat. Yeah,
No.
He mad.
He's pissed.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, it's only going to be a matter of time. I mean, whenever it actually attacks like a human, like
Or
a
kid.
kid,
Yeah.
that's whenever
Yeah.
the lawmakers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
something's
it
gonna
takes a tragic for them to start to get their, the noggins rolling
Yeah.
on
Right.
legalizing
Well,
it.
what kind of irritates me is the whole reason the bobcats got reintroduced is to help with the turkey population.
Why do we donate money to the National Wild Turkey Federation in the first place then?
That
Because
and
they
here's my
go and trap them in Texas and bring them here.
yeah. So
Now we're
Indiana didn't
overpopulated,
have
right.
back I don't know X amount of years. Indiana didn't have turkeys, so now we're starting to get a population going, and there's too many. Okay, so how many turkeys can we kill a year? One.
exactly.
Now in
Yeah.
spring. Now in spring,
Yeah.
you can kill one tom.
Yeah.
So why don't you do what like Kentucky and Tennessee
Right.
and all the other states do? You can kill 2 now.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing bobcats that
Kill
not
everything.
only
We can't
kill
control.
turkeys,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they
And
kill
getting
turkeys, rabbits,
livestock.
squirrels, livestock.
Yeah.
deer.
Chihuahuas.
Yeah, I
Fucking
mean, they kill
me.
everything. We're overran with coyotes already.
Yep.
So you're gonna bring a bobcat in?
Another predator in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just
Dumb.
Little
just
pricks.
add the ante up, kill 2 toms, be done with it.
Right.
We're gonna pay for it with a license.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
We're
Right.
gonna they're gonna get money that way. So why not?
Right.
Right.
Or instead of 2 weeks, which I think is not enough time. It's not.
And it's too late, in my
And
opinion.
it's way too late. They need to make it. I think our turkey season should be a month long.
Yeah, I can see
4
that.
weeks gives people, because you got to think of people working too. Not a lot of people can take off just any day they want.
Right.
So even if it's just you make the season longer, but keep it 1 turkey, then there's more people being able to kill turkey.
Right.
I don't know. I think that needs to change instead of bringing in all these other animals that
Little
take care of
hoodlum
turkey.
ass
just
animal.
Yeah.
predators. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not just concentrating on just the turkey either. I seen thing on Facebook the other day that took down a bobcat took down a deer.
Yeah.
And so that's going to play havoc on our fawns. Just like the
Mhm.
coyotes.
Oh,
are and
yeah, for
everything.
sure.
And then we catch them, and then they're like, "Hey, you got to release them." What?
Right.
Like that's not. That's
Right.
not. That's not right.
Now, the first time you released a bobcat out of a trap, how did you feel?
scared.
The pucker factor for sure.
Yeah. That dude's gonna chew you up.
I mean, I'm sure you had your guns ready.
Well,
Self-defense. Self-defense is acceptable.
I wanted the camera for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
for sure. That's the first
That's
thing
your
that happened,
evidence,
but
yeah.
But well, that's stupid. Like, why are we releasing this thing?
right.
I stayed behind that plywood.
I bet I would have.
I'd be thinking, is he coming back for seconds?
And then I was really surprised, like whenever you guys were in the video, you're trying to get his foot out, and he's like, "Brr." It's not like a fucking bear,
Yeah, he's got a growl to it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's like, holy fuck, dude. And then he's like looking up at, I don't know if it was you behind the plywood in that video or not, but he's like looking up at you,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, that thing's gonna run up that fucking plywood.
That's what Mike was. He was holding the plywood for me, and I released him on the trap. And I wanted to grab his. I grabbed his claws. I wanted to pull him out, and
Yeah.
I did that, and it scared the crap out of me. And I pulled back pretty quick, of course. But, well, Mike let it down, and I was scared to death he's going to run right up there because it looked like he kind of hunkered down, like he's going to do it. And I said, "Don't let him run up that plywood," And he's like, "No, I'm watching him." And I'm like, "Man, he'd be on you." I can just imagine it sucked around his head,
Right?
But no, we released it. And it was all good. All 3 of them was nice, good release. So
As long as nobody gets hurt, you know.
Right.
yeah.
And Bobcat's got a little bit of a limp. Oh well.
Now we called DNR, and we was like, kind of, and I'm not dissing DNR. They do great things, but they were kind of like upset that we didn't, have officer come out and help and all that stuff. And we're like, we've got stuff to do, man.
Yeah.
We don't
Right.
have
Yeah.
time to wait on you guys to get here. We released it. It's fine. We got video of it. You want to see the video?
Right.
But yeah, they kind of ran us through the ringer a little bit, but
Well,
it is what it is.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Fuck them.
so
I mean, they want to introduce them. They've got to realize. I mean, you can't be the. I know you're not the only one that's
No.
got a bobcat. I mean,
No.
I've known
Yeah.
personally some other people. So I mean, what if you caught them at the same time? They can't be at every
Yeah.
place.
Yeah,
Plus, there's
absolutely.
deer season usually
Yeah.
coming on right
Yeah.
now, so they can't. They got to understand.
Yeah, the one running over my lap was that's about the only
opened your eyes.
that was the only
Yeah.
experience I'd wish to have in my lifetime again with a bobcat.
Yeah.
He didn't like bother me or anything. He probably didn't know I was there, but he might have. I don't know.
He knew.
But that dude, I felt like when he was running at me, like my jugular was in his fucking eyeball. Like he was wanting some blood off of old Cohen here.
Now we went bow hunting. My dad and I was hunting this woods and we was walking up together. We get to the point and we Y off. Well, it's dark and we went in, no lights, that kind of deal. We went in there and all of a sudden this howling, it sounded just like a baby screaming, or a woman,
Mhm.
getting attacked or whatever.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, like I was like, here I am with a bow and arrow, like it's pitch black.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna see this thing coming at me,
Yep.
And so
We did this segment last week asking about what's the scariest shit or you've witnessed in the woods. What's yours? That one?
That,
Yeah.
I did. I've never climbed a tree so fast. I was in my climber and I got up there. I didn't even worry about pulling my gun up or anything. Or my bow up. I was up there,
Yeah.
And then after you're sitting there thinking, you're like, well, they can climb trees, you idiot.
Right?
I'm like, oh, yeah.
Have you-
The Bowie
seen
knife
the-
out.
Have you seen the videos of people in like Tennessee or somewhere where the fucking bears like climb up
Oh,
their
yeah.
tree stand ladder,
Uh-huh.
dude?
See, I would probably
Or
be done
without the
hunting.
ladder.
Yeah, I would probably be done. Like, no,
Just never
yeah,
again.
no more,
But-
no more bear hunting.
Yeah.
So here's my thing though. I much rather be in a deer stand or a tree stand, sorry, and have a bear climb up.
A
because
beer?
You have beer. That even better. That would be awesome. I would let that happen. No, a bear. I would let it because you have the upper hand advantage at that point.
You're in a
You know?
fucking tree stand.
Yes, but they're coming up to you.
Well, you can't get down.
What you gonna do? Jump on it?
No, but I'm saying you if you feel scared enough, you could shoot it at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Because
true.
This is where I'm getting at. My dad went to Maine this spring, turkey season, and black bear hunted. They hunt out of ground blinds. I'll make this real quick, but long story short, the last night he was there, they hunted like 15 hours straight. You're in a ground blind for 15 hours. I don't know if I could do it.
Mm.
But anyway, he's in this ground blind. It gets dark. He was one of the last people to get, like the guide would come into your ground blind and come get you and then walk you out.
Yeah.
He was the last guy to get picked up. So he's pitch black. You can't see your hand in front of your face, waiting for his guide to come in. And he heard this, he heard like, limbs and stuff snapping. And all of a sudden, this bait barrel he was hunting on just exploded. It was getting tossed around. You heard him. He's like, that's a bear.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. He's
Or a
freaking out
Yeti.
because you don't know how big it is. You just know it's a bear.
You know how many?
Yeah, and you're in a ground blind and it's black and you can't see, so he's like, well, it needs, the bait in the barrel. Well, so like the night before this, and they told him before they started hunting, they said, in the mornings when he drop you off, if your ground blind's flattened to the ground, let us know. We'll set a new one up. Well, my dad's like, well, why would they be flattened to the ground? They say because the bears get curious and they'll pounce on them and like see what's in there.
Oh fuck, dude.
So my dad's like, we're playing this in his head. He's like, I'm in this ground blind.
I'm about to be flattened.
Yeah. So next thing he knows, he's, and it's not like a big, what are those called?
Like a hub.
Yeah,
blind?
it's not one of the big ones. It's
Yeah.
like a one man.
Oh yeah.
You're scrunched in this ground blind. And he says, here's a snap of a twig right on the other side of his ground blind.
Oh fuck.
He's like, oh my gosh. And he hears it breathing. Like, you know how
Oh, yeah.
bears breathe like, like
Like they got
you hear-
asthma.
Yeah. He's freaking out. He's just waiting. He has a 44 mag single shot. He's just waiting for this thing to come collapsing down on him. He's freaking out, like crap in his pants. But anyway, it never
Did he yell "Hey bear"?
He wanted to, but that was the thing. He's like, do I say, hey bear, and then startle it and it come after me then? Or
Yeah.
do you just sit here quiet and hope it doesn't?
Right. Either
What do
you
you do?
get attacked because the bear's scared, or you get attacked because the bear's curious.
Right.
I think in that case, you probably chances they get attacked if the bear's scared because, I mean, if the bear was that close to him, that like flight or fight mode's going to kick in the bear if
Right.
it's that close in the
Right.
dark.
But at the
So
same-
that thing's probably going to attack in that sense.
yeah, because you got to think
See,
of
I
us.
wouldn't have let it got that close. That's where I'm at. Like, I'd be like, hey, bear, hey, this guy's over here.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got to think of us. Like when you walk around a corner and someone scares you, you're at least me. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
in attack mode.
Yeah.
I
You
wanna
know,
fight.
I'm gonna throw a punch or something.
Right.
So you got to think of a
Cohen
bear.
screams, but
Yeah.
But you got to think the same way a bear. You know, it's like, but at that point it's too late. What do?
Yeah.
You say, "Hey, bear." You sit there. Which one's the best? You don't know.
Right.
get your bear spray out.
But you didn't know.
Yeah.
But luckily, he sat there and he was just praying, like, "Please, guide, please come in." And next thing
Right.
he knows, he sees this light come through the woods, and then the bear took off. But
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude.
long story short, I much rather be in a tree stand
I
and-
agree.
and have an upper hand advantage than sitting in
Yeah.
the ground blind like
You hear these guys going to like Alaska and hunting these grizzly bears with these bows, you know, and
Oh, that's nuts.
I'm like, yeah, I would shoot one with the bow, but there's going to be 4 guys behind me with a gun.
Yeah.
right. One with an AR,
Yeah.
one with a bazooka.
Yeah.
I stick it, and then I'll be like, all right, boys.
Like, because you see what a whitetail does when you shoot with a bow. It don't always just fall down.
No.
No.
I mean, he can take
They
off
can
and
travel
run.
30, 40.
We're talking about a
100
fucking
yards.
bear, dude.
All right.
Like he's. I feel like bears are just mad no matter what. They're never happy. You know, like a whitetail when he comes in, usually like.
Winnie the Pooh is pretty happy to me.
Well, you know, but like a whitetail or something when they come in, like you don't get unless it's like rut and you're rattling or grunting or something. A buck comes in pissed off. Like you see a doe come in, she's usually kind of chill. I feel like bears are just fucking mad all the time. It don't matter what.
A black bear, maybe not so much.
It's a
Grizzly
bear, dude.
Yeah, true.
They got fucking
But like what is it? It's like 40 miles an hour. Is it a second?
it
Or maybe
way
is that
too
fast?
fast.
Yeah.
Faster than
Yeah.
this white boy can run.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Right.
But you hear people shooting like grizzly, getting attacked by a grizzly and shoot it like 7 or 8 times with like a 10 millimeter, and the bear's just still eating them. Like
Yeah.
that's insane. That's fucking
Stuff
nuts.
happens. But anyways, real fast, we're gonna take a break from the bear talk. We're gonna hit the beer of the week.
The bear of the week.
Beer,
Bear.
the bear,
The bear of the week.
The bear of the week.
is we're gonna hit
So,
Grizzly.
so this week I decided to go with the king of beers. When I drink this beer, I feel like I should be, at the start finish line at the Brickyard watching Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 4th turn in first place.
praise
that
hell
is
and praise
a-
death.
And that is a nice Budweiser. Now Cohen's already drank some of his, so he wasn't too much of a fan of this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've
here's
drank one
here's
before.
number 88 retired.
24, Jeff Gordon.
number.
Once again retired.
Did you say number 88?
Wasn't that Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
I
Or no,
think
he's
that's
8.
that's
was
Bobby
8.
Labonte.
Dude,
That's
see,
the what
I-
was
okay.
that? The interstate.
I go
battery.
to the
Interstate battery.
I watch 2 races a year. All right, the Brickyard and the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah.
That's- So
You're fucking up, bud.
So I'll
sorry,
be the
maybe
first-
he's 8. Maybe he's number 8.
He's number
right?
8.
He's
number
8.
He,
Okay.
he was number 8 when he drove for DEI, and then that's when he lost his Budweiser
Mm.
sponsor.
Now what number was he when he was
88.
80? So he was 88 at
He
one
was
point.
88.
All right.
You're right.
All right,
That was the
fuck
National
off.
Guard.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
The National Guard, worthless. Great.
I'll
Hey,
start,
taxpayer money going to something. All right.
so I'll start off the taste test. I've had these before. My brother drinks these
Mhm.
religiously. I like them. I do not like them warm.
Yeah,
But-
it's not a warm beer to drink. No.
I mean, I can drink Bud Light warm if need be, but it's not. It's a good beer. It's smooth.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's a pretty good beer.
Now, Cohen, is it taste like a skunked beer in the back of a trunk for 30
This
days?
is better than anything that I've had so far, other than Bush. But I'm gonna have one hell of a headache later.
Oh,
Really?
I can guarantee that.
I
Just
never-
one of these Larrys will do it.
Jeremy, what are your thoughts on the old Budweiser?
Happy.
Happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you happy? It's
Hap-
hoppy.
Happy. No, I'm not a fan. I'll stick to my Bush Light.
There you
Oh,
go.
Right.
See,
Well.
we're classy in this bitch.
Winners can be choosers. But anyways, we're gonna talk or take a quick break real fast. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna hit on albino and piebald doe, or deer in general. It's a touchy subject with the non-hunter population and everything. And if we have any non-hunters, which I know we actually do have some non-hunters that listen to this, we're gonna tell you our opinions on why we should take that beautiful all-white deer for the future of the herd. So we'll be right back, folks. Hey everybody, welcome back to Hoosier Backcountry. It's T-Bone. So we're going to talk, like I said, albino and piebald. The reason I kind of want to talk about this tonight is I've kind of seen some activity in the news lately. I think it was Wisconsin or Michigan. There was a beautiful 10-point buck albino posted over the weekend, and Of course, there's already the petition to no hunters, kill this one deer. Also, I think there was a albino kill here in Indiana. So I know there's certain states have their laws. Indiana is legal to kill. I believe in like surrounding states, Illinois and Michigan, it's illegal. So if any viewers out there live in those states, just make sure to study up on those laws and everything. But yeah, it seems like anytime anybody kills an albino deer and they put it on social media or anything,
It's a big deal.
They get blasted by the non-hunting community and probably some of the hunting community, because and there's probably just some hunters out there that they're not educated in how much of a genetic mutation it is in the herd bloodline. Right. I mean, we're talking about deer. One, being all white, it takes away from that natural ability. 2 months out of the year, there's snow on the ground, but 9 months, 10 months out of the year, it takes away that natural ability to blend in from predators. Also, with the albino, that genetic mutation, it takes away from their eyesight, hearing loss, shorter legs,
height. Yeah, that's what I say.
Yep, shorter legs.
Really?
Yeah, it takes away from.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay, so in the albino gene, it takes away from have shorter legs, normally curved spines, and eyesight deficiencies. In the piebald, and they're actually two different genetic mutations. In the piebald, they're looking at loss of hearing, digestive tract deformities, as long as jaw deformities, with hormonal disorders as well. So they're beautiful deer for people to see and stuff like that, but
health-wise, they're not.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at the future of the herd, you need to eliminate these, because when I also researched this earlier this week, whenever a albino or a piebald mates with, I want to say, a traditional whitetail, just for the sake of the discussion, an all brown whitetail, that offspring has a 25% chance, right, to pick up that gene, thus creating another genetic mutation in the herd. Now, it is 1 in 10 or 101 in 100,000 for albino, and 1 in 30,000 for the piebald to actually come through to traditional whitetail parents. In the case for that, both parents have to carry the gene, and it is a recessive gene, and that's why it's such a large gap in them. But when they come together and they produce one, that one produces offsprings. It strengthens that percentage in the herd. So, like I said, and also I was real fast. There's no study out there that the genetic mutation affects the meat's meat. It just affects the pigmentation. So it's completely safe for humans to consume. It's health of the herd. I support taking them.
I would.
Maybe
I'd
not.
take one in a heartbeat.
Maybe not blasted on social media, because
you're gonna get some negativity.
You're gonna get some Karens out there that are come at you like a hurricane.
Yeah, right.
And that's the last thing you want, is some Karens coming at you when you're proud of this 10-point albino. Right. But people need to know why hunters need to take this. And the reason I want to bring this up, because I'm sure there's young hunters out there that didn't know this stuff, and they've passed it up today. And they're actually hurting their area of the woods. So I was just kind of curious on what your guys' thoughts on all that was.
My one thing that I think about whenever I see people post about the albino, it's like, I wonder if, like, let's just say it's an albino doe. I wonder if the bucks out there, when the doe goes into estrus, if they're like, damn, she's hot. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing, though. So deer
probably not.
Deer are colorblind, though, so they're just seeing a shade.
Yeah.
So
I don't like to believe that.
The next time I see one, I'll ask and
see what it says.
See what he says, and I'll let you know.
Hey, are you digging that doe?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
She hot? Is she hot?
All right. Now I need you to
Be
go back
honest.
out to your 20 yards broadside. Thanks.
At that point, I'm pretty sure they're all hot at that time of year.
Yeah, right.
He's not picky.
Yeah, you get the little spikes that are fucking other spikes. They're just doing what they do out there. You know?
And that's part of that genetic, the hormonal disorder. I mean, you're going to get a doe that's an albino, a piebald doe that might be trying to fight off a 10-point buck for another doe.
Right.
You're going to, it's a
Lesbo
genetic
doe.
mutation. Yeah.
Should I say it?
Oh, yeah.
They have to self-identify.
Oh, there we go. Canceled.
Yeah.
We're done. Hey, since Seth's still 48% and we're like 20, we're good.
No. We're signing a contract, boys. We're not doing that. We're signing this
I
contract.
think like if that were the case, we get sued. I'm gonna gift you all of my
you can't.
portion of this.
I'm a guest, so I have nothing involved in this whatsoever.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, right.
No, I'd shoot one in a heartbeat though.
Yeah.
in a heartbeat. Yep.
I don't care if it was a spike, dude. I'd waste a buck tag on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say
Badass.
like
Oh, yeah.
4-point spike, you know,
Force,
or
wait, hold
you know, 4-point basket rack.
There
I'm
we
sorry,
go.
comes in opening day of firearm. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him
I'd shoot him opening day of postseason.
for the bigger picture of the herd in a
Fuck, I don't-
heartbeat.
like I just said, I just almost shot a spike the other day. He wasn't a
Yeah, but you're
albino or
getting
piebald.
desperate. We know
I wouldn't go that far.
you're getting desperate.
I won't admit it till
But-
it's over.
but there also is some superstition out there. Old Native American traditions. You know, you see a albino or a piebald, don't shoot it because it brings on so many years of bad luck when it comes to hunting.
Oh, I
And-
must
and-
have
and-
done that in another
Well,
life or
right?
something.
Yeah.
And my argument to that is these people clearly have never hunted with Cohen.
exactly.
if I shot a piebald, I might not get. I don't know. It
I would
depends on how
I'd
much
get a hide.
white's on it.
Yeah.
But
And it'd
if
be a
it's-
full body mount. If I got one, it'd
Oh, yeah.
definitely be
Yeah,
right there next to the couch with me, curled up. Yeah.
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 If it was a full white
Oh, Hank.
albino,
Yeah.
shoot, yeah, that thing's getting full body mount.
Oh, yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Beautiful critters.
Oh,
for
sure. Yeah.
I think any albino animal, a wildlife, not like a fucking dog or a cat or whatever. I think y'all like animals you don't usually see, whether it's like a squirrel
Yep.
or a raccoon or whatever.
Raccoons are pretty awesome.
I think
Yeah.
they're pretty badass looking, to be quite honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw an albino armadillo picture one time. I think this looked weird.
Yeah.
But you gotta
Really?
think, so like but that's not good. I mean,
It's a genetic mutation.
yes,
in the
but
herd.
that's not good because they can't blend in. So it's actually bad for them.
Well, it's
For
a
us, it's like, oh,
disadvantage.
that's
I
cool.
think it's cool.
but
Sucks
it's a
for them, but it's cool for me.
And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these people, like they just non-hunters just crucify people, like hunters, if they post pictures of it. And it's like, look, you don't understand. Like by
Right.
taking that animal, as beautiful as it is, it's helping other deer in
Right.
the future.
And now I get the whole health reasons. I totally agree on that. But maybe they're thinking, that deer's white, so it can't blend in like the other. It doesn't have a fair advantage as the other deer. I can maybe see that argument. But as far as the health goes, I get what you're saying. I agree with the health. If a white deer walks out, you can see that. No big deal.
Oh yeah, it's a disadvantage.
Right.
You're going to
It's a
see that thing coming 100 yards away.
Right.
right.
So I can
Thickest
see
stuff
as
ever.
a
Mhm.
fair chase reason.
Yeah.
I can see how it's a disadvantage. But it's the health reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
All day, man.
Yep.
All day.
I don't know. I've never seen one, so
I've never seen it. Well,
There was one
I've
killed.
never seen
There
one
was
in-
one
yeah.
killed just right on the other side of Carbon last year.
really.
I believe it was last year. And then I had a buddy that took a piebald just right down the road on the other side of the tracks.
nice.
So
No shit.
yeah, it was pretty cool to see him up close, but
I remember in high school when I lived in Brazil with my dad, behind the golf course, there was a albino doe. And I remember like people were taking pictures of it, sending it to the Brazil Times, and it became like a mascot for the community and everything. And there was like a petition, like, don't kill it. And like there's threats on Facebook, like nobody ever better shoot this
Oh, no shit.
doe. And it's like, you don't realize, like, and like I said, if we can educate anybody on the show once, mission success. And
Right. The 90% nonsense that comes out of my mouth versus the 10% out of Tanner that is actually helpful. Yeah. That's the goal here.
I actually saw a albino deer killed on 70. He was hit.
Oh,
It
really?
was right on Clay County line.
I've
too.
never even seen one.
I thought, honestly, I thought it was a dog at first. The first time I passed it, I'm like, it had to be a dog.
Yeah.
And then the next day I came home from work, I looked, I was like, dude, that's a deer.
No
Mhm.
shit.
Yep.
I'll
Was
be
hit.
damned. I'll be damned.
didn't
So-
go 20.
Didn't
go.
It didn't go
20.
5.
It's dead.
now watch
It was
this.
dead.
Cohen's gonna go hunting Tuesday with his bow, and he's gonna kill this huge 15-point
Oh, he's just a
albino.
big old albino deer.
That's though, has there ever been a big, I'm talking a big albino?
I think that's part of the genetics, and then the downfall
Yeah.
being
Mhm.
camouflage
Mhm.
and hiding and everything like that. I don't think they get that big just for the simple fact they're so easy to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't,
Now,
get that, they don't
in
get that
captivity-
old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in captivity, captivity.
that C word.
Yeah,
Right.
they they've getting. I've seen a 12-pointer, but
Mhm.
that's high fenced and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't think I'll shoot one. That's my thoughts on it.
Oh yeah, dropping a heartbeat.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
We'd set up another microphone for it here at the show. You know, it'd be great, dude. Get him a seat.
call him Frank.
Call him Frank, whatever you want, you know.
Frank,
Shit.
what do you think about that? Frank's not moving. All right, thanks in agreement.
He'd tell me anything but Busch Light tastes like shit. I mean, that's what would happen, you know.
You know, and the funny thing about the beer thing is, if Coors Light never made its own seltzer, you'd be drinking Coors right now.
You know what? I told you I'm a man of my word, and I said from the get go when Coors Light starts their bullshit, it's over, and we broke up. I'm sorry. It was a nasty breakup. And you know how many times Coors Light has posted like something about their seltzer on their Instagram, and I'll get on there and I'll like comment something just fucking ridiculous. They never respond, but you know.
They're probably not.
Everybody's like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy," and I'm like, "Fuck you guys!" And then you know,
Weren't you guys looking for sponsors? Like, I don't think they're going to look at that as a sponsor.
Yeah, we've marked Coors Light off the do not contact list.
Yeah, they blocked us.
I know. I've got the thing about it too is I got so much Coors Light shit. Whether it's like the cooler, you know, I've got the blimp above us, a couple signs, some buckets, some cool Coors Light shit, and they fucked me. They did it to themselves. And I think even I got on there, like on their Instagram, and whenever they're like promoting their their seltzer, everybody was like I said, everybody was like, so great. And I think one of the comments I put on there was like, you need to pay homage to Smokey and the Bandit. Burt Reynolds didn't run Coors across the country to get to the county fair for you to make fucking seltzers. And they never responded. They probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Fucking
I
yuppies.
Yeah, I don't either. Anyways, Jeremy, what is your beer of choice?
Busch Light.
Busch Latte.
Oh yeah.
24/7, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
See, that one wasn't even planned.
So I want to say this. Did you guys notice what was in the back of my truck when I pulled up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
your
two
dog.
boxes.
Your dog
dog
box.
Dog box.
Oh, is
Yep.
it? I didn't even see.
I
I
noticed
It's
that.
that time.
Yep, it is.
It's that time. I mean, I know we've been talking about deer hunting past 6 episodes, but it's also been deer season. But it's
Coming to a close.
It's coming to a close, and it's that time for.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know Jeremy and I were talking about
Yep.
trapping. We both trap pretty hard.
We caught a coon this morning and 2 possums. So,
Nice.
yeah, we were.
Nice.
Brooklyn and I was pretty excited. So
Mhm.
When's rabbit season come in?
It's in now.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not sure
came in
the
now.
exact date, but I know it's in now.
Okay.
we're ready. We're ready.
Now I
Mhm.
remember squirrel goes all the way halfway through January, correct? I know it comes in like
If you guys are looking for a place to squirrel hunt,
August.
my tree stand, like
Dude,
200 pounders, I'm talking
it's
like
bad.
oh my gosh, this year was horrible.
I will like all the fucking acorns everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I remember telling these guys, like, I don't know if I've got a booner walking in
Yeah.
or a squirrel. Jesus, you can't tell the difference.
Mhm.
And the
one-
sad thing is that the deer are quieter than the squirrels are.
oh yeah, the
I
first time you
know.
go, oh, it's just a squirrel, and you look over and there's a deer standing right there. You know,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times that's happened. It's like, oh, there's a deer coming in. It's a squirrel.
And,
And you do that enough, it's finally you're like, oh, that's just a squirrel.
right, and
And
then
then there's a deer. Like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
they'll start like the squirrels, especially when the leaves first fall and they're like real crunchy. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it was so loud out there. And it's like, dude, I could walk in the woods and just stroll and make less sound than these squirrels do.
Right.
But the other day I went out and it was a little wet, and then squirrels do like that when they're like running.
Yeah.
And a deer, if it's crunchy, it's just like real subtle.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little wet, so it was like that kind of subtle sound. He wasn't like running all over the place. What was over the ridge? And I was like, dude, I think there's a deer down there. But no,
it was that spike.
it was the squirrel. It was the spiked squirrel.
No, one thing I've noticed
The,
about
the
the whole-
4-point spiked squirrel.
Yeah.
Jackalope.
Yeah, dude.
the one thing I noticed, because that's one thing I always struggled with, is I would hear what I thought was a deer was a squirrel. One thing I have noticed when it's a squirrel, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yep.
It's not constant. When a deer's moving, it's like almost like they have
It's
the
like
beat in their
it's like a
stride.
fluid,
Yeah, it's like a
fluid like sound to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a steady. You're like, okay, that's a deer. So I've noticed that. Also, I used to pay attention to squirrels, like when they start barking, you're like, oh, here comes
Oh,
a
yeah.
deer
Yep.
or a
Yep.
coyote.
Yep.
Half the time anymore, they're barking at themselves. or
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
But I mean, pay attention to that. But the Blue Jays this year, they helped me a lot. That you'd sit there and hear Blue Jays just freaking getting it. I'm like, what the heck's he's barking or going at it? Here comes a deer.
Really.
Yeah, the Blue Jays.
I did notice that with the woodpeckers.
Mm-hmm.
They squalling and stuff like that, and it was something, a predator, a coyote coming in or something
Mhm.
like that. I have noticed maybe it's just my age. I'm starting to notice more things. You know,
Yeah.
like
Right.
Well, it's experience.
yeah,
right.
yeah, experience. Yeah,
I've heard some of the same, squalls or the squirrels like barking and shit. And I try to like, oh, well, maybe that's a deer. And it ends up they're just fucking barking it. And it's either the squirrel is barking at a blue jay or the blue jay or woodpecker's chirping at a squirrel. It's like,
Oh.
for fuck's sake, you know?
It's that, and that's when it gets quiet all of a sudden.
And now
And
it's
then
like,
you're
then you know,
quiet.
like something's up.
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah.
that coyote at?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
you
when
know.
you're like
Yep.
looking around hard.
But I'll tell you what, though, there's been a lot of cases this year that I noticed I'd see squirrels everywhere, and it was just constant noise. And you're like, "Ah, whatever. And then all of a sudden it would just get eerie quiet. Or you would see the squirrels, they all go
Yep.
up in the tree, and it was quiet. And you're like, what's going on? And pretty soon here comes a deer.
Yep.
It was like, what's a deer going to do with a squirrel? But I noticed that it was loud. Squirrels are everywhere doing their thing, chasing. And all of a sudden it was quiet. What happened? Oh, there's a deer.
Yep.
It was the weirdest thing.
Yep.
Speaking of that, real fast, I kind of want to bring in the deer count of the week.
Let's hear it.
So Indiana, as of this morning, 83,416 deer harvested this year. Just kind of looking back at the last couple of years, that quote unquote record breaking year 2015. We're still about 8,000 shy of that. Now, last week we were 10,000 shy, so we're kind of catching up to that year. We're 5,000 more than last year, the 114 where it ended. So I'm anxious to see, with this weekend and, coming to the holiday, this next holiday weekend, how much that's going to jump, because obviously, bows only go so much longer than muzzleloader kicks in, but it's not as popular as the firearm. So I'm anxious. But yeah, 83,416 at this time.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Wow.
We're getting there.
That's a lot of backstraps.
Hopefully, I can add that number up one Tuesday.
Well, you got
Poor Spike's in trouble.
Dude, I'm telling you
we
now,
can next time.
he's got enough passes this year. He has. That little bastard comes through again. I'm
Old Joe.
sorry.
Old Joe.
He's in trouble. I'll mount that little bastard too. Mark my words.
I will donate one doll hair.
Mark my words
to that
right now.
mount.
If I kill that Spike, that son of a bitch,
He's gonna be right here next to the podcast.
I will get a shoulder mount of that Spike.
You know what? You better.
That's
If
you got my
kill
word.
that- if you kill that Spike, you better get him shoulder mounted, and he's going to be in the background of our podcast
the
when we start
mouse.
doing videos.
Be the mod.
Yep.
the mod.
Yep. And we're going to pay tribute to him every podcast, every
Just
episode.
raise a beer. Here's the Joe.
Somebody sent me a thing the other day. It was like it was like a pun on like Boone and Crockett. And I can't remember. It was like Spoon and Crock Pot, and it had a picture of a spike. And he's like, "Hey, I found a shirt for you." And I'm like, "Fuck you, dude!" But yeah, you got my word. That Spike comes out, he's getting shot, and I will shoulder mount him.
Dude, I've been there several times, man. You
Yeah.
sit there for 4 hours, 6 hours, not see anything.
Yeah,
And then little guy comes walking out, and you're like, "Hey, dude."
Yeah.
what's up?" You know.
trying to get smacked.
Yeah.
What you doing?
You
And
know,
then they usually hang out. They're usually there for like 20, 25 minutes, and they're like, "Okay, dude, you're throwing stuff at him. Like, you don't know. Like, you're ready to get busted. Like, you better get out of here."
Look to your scope at the
Yeah.
crosshairs a couple
Yeah.
times.
yeah.
I've shot the range at him like 705 times.
But that's
like,
the thing. I wish the freaking big bucks would do the same thing as the little ones, because it would be easy at that point.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's
the
why
little
They
bucks
wouldn't be
will come-
big. They,
Yeah.
Right. The little bucks come in there, freaking bed down,
Yeah.
freaking try to climb your tree. They smell your steps, look at you.
Yeah,
Eat over here.
I could literally cough and sneeze in the woods, and the Spike comes through. Like, holy shit!
What
like
was that?
it's time to fight. That
Yeah.
doe. It's like October 1st. That doe's an estrus. I know she is. Fucking idiot.
I've sat in my stand before, and that had a shag bark beside me. I'd grab shag bark and throw it at a little
Oh, yeah.
buck. And he's just like
What was
looking
that?
around, like, what was that?
Yeah.
What was that? And you'd hit one, and he'd be like, whoa, oh, what was that? I don't know. Yeah. Why can't a big
Yeah,
buck do
you,
that?
you
know?
blink your eyes on a big one, and he's gone.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like you're like holding your breath, and
Yeah.
like passing out, like I
Yeah.
can't move. And he's gone. You're like, what did you see?
Yeah.
You know?
What did I do wrong? The
that-
wind was in my face.
He saw that cheap Walmart camo is what he
Right,
saw.
Yeah, something. Oh man,
Fuck,
again, it
dude.
does
Should
get
have got real
frustrating.
tree.
Right.
Or you'll have those seasons where, one season you won't see freaking diddly squat.
Yep.
You'll have them all day on camera, but when you go hunting, you won't see a dang deer.
Right.
And then the next year, you won't have nothing on camera. You're like, oh, this is gonna be a sucky year. And the first time you go out, you tag out.
Oh yeah.
It's like I don't get it. I don't.
I always giggle on a quick side note. People who wear old military uniforms.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that does not work at all. But it
I
cracks
see
me
you.
up.
I see you.
Yeah, I see you. But old BDUs or something like that, and you're just
Like an old tricolor
Mm.
jacket with just like a beanie that's like half off their head, dude.
Yeah.
That's like the typical.
it
Yeah,
cracks me up every time.
I tell you what, my papa though, he a plaid, red plaid shirt and an orange Elmer Fudd hat, and he's killing deer. Like I'm like, yeah.
Nice.
I just spent $200 on that shirt over there.
But that's the thing. That's the thing, though.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Had some slight technical difficulties, but your boy, Seth Whitaker, the little tech wizard, got it figured out. Just to kind of, shoot to the closing of the show, we had a lot of good information tonight. We want to kind of hit on real briefly, where we're at in the season as it's coming to a close. Obviously the rut's dying down. We're seeing, bucks sort of start breaking away. What are some good tactics still at this time? I mean, is it the rattle bag? Is it the estrus call? I mean, what are you thinking, Jeremy?
I don't know. I really think at this point, I don't think the calls are going to be, even the scent, that people are throwing down and, making the mock scrapes and stuff. I don't think that's going to be the ticket. In my opinion, I think it's just a sit and wait game type thing. It's, I don't know, Seth. I've never really used a call in this latest season. Rattles. I definitely, the rattle bags. You might have some young bucks coming in there and being like, "Yeah, what's up?" That kind of thing. But I think it's winding down.
Yeah,
the game is done. And it's just more or less hoping. Like we were talking earlier, you kind of, if a doe comes in, you want to wait. Definitely want to wait. Last night I waited for a good 10, 15 minutes. She was kind of meandering around, and you definitely know she was by herself. She was definitely by herself. She either, was done and in that kind of thing, or got pushed away, from her herd or whatever, or the one that she was with. But I believe that right now it's a waiting game. Sit in the right place. Where they're going to be. It's a food, hunt over food and path to food and in the creek beds and all that good stuff. But
it's definitely, the lockdown phase, right? Like the rut's coming to an end, but those big bucks, if anything, they are locked on a single doe at this point. They've already fended off all the other ones. So yeah, like you might get that young stud still kind of running, feeling that tingling between the legs. But other than that, yeah, you see that doe, don't be too anxious to shoot her immediately.
And definitely
that buck might be 100 yards behind her, just slowly trailing her downwind or something.
Right.
Definitely check them fence rows, walking into your stand or whatever, because he's going to be laying up. I seen a nice buck today that was going and doing some trapping, and I seen a nice buck on the side of the guy's driveway, like 10 feet off the driveway. And he was just chilling. He had his girlfriend right there, and they're definitely just chilling out, hanging out.
Yeah. What do you think, Seth?
Yeah, especially this year when we had a really good bow season weather-wise, I think they were ahead of the game come rut. So, you might have that one buck here and there, maybe still chasing. We're at the end though. So I'm almost say next week you're probably going to see the end of rut.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, technically we have 2 ruts.
Yes, it's 21 days right after a doe goes in heat per se.
Right.
21 days
Second
later,
wind,
yeah.
But you always have the main first rut,
Yep.
which is now, or in last week.
Yep.
And then they go out for a while, and then whatever does did not go into heat yet.
Or
go
missed.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, or missed.
Yep.
So there is a second rut. It's not as big and crazy as the first one, but there is some.
I usually feel it's like right before Christmas.
Yes.
Right before Christmas, you're gonna see them come in, and they're not gonna be crazy like you were saying.
Right.
Chasing and rutting and just dogging. But
Right.
you're definitely gonna see them.
Right.
Okay.
So I think it's like I said, it's going to be slower. You're going to want to, if anything, you want to hit food because the big bucks have been running their rears off
Oh yeah.
for the past 2-3 weeks. Just nothing but chasing
Yep.
does, fighting. So they're going to be hungry. They've got to get that weight back on because of winter.
Yep.
So food, water, and protection.
Yep.
If you can find those 3 things, you're good.
And stay right before dark. I'm
Yep.
telling you, that's the ticket.
And that's
You know,
majorly that's the thing
yeah.
because they've been shot at, pushed around.
They're not
chased.
moving. Yeah.
No.
That
So-
buck, we drove right by him today, and he never moved. He knew he was safe.
Mhm.
So they're not gonna move. You can walk right past them 10 yards. And you're not gonna force them up until you make them. You force them up. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, cool. Well, like I said, we're coming in the last week of firearm. Obviously, bow lose a little after that. Muzzleloader. But the deer hunting's going to kind of come to a close for us. Seth, what's kind of the next couple seasons we'll be talking about?
Well, deer season comes out, which it's a bittersweet. You've looked forward to it all year, but when it comes to an end, I still get excited because there's trapping, there's coyote hunting,
Heck
and there's rabbit season.
Heck yeah.
So.
I'm ready. I'm really excited, and I'm not saying that I'm burnt out of deer season because I love deer season, but I am. I'm looking forward to, me and my buddies trapping, getting some coyotes and some coons. And like I said earlier, my daughter and I, we got some coons, or a coon this morning and some possums. So, definitely excited about the trapping season.
Nice.
It's like Christmas. Like every you set your traps that night, the next morning you're like, okay, what do I got?
Can't sleep at night.
Yeah. It's like Christmas every time you check them. So it's trapping's fun, and you can walk around. You're talking.
Yep.
You can be loud. There's no sitting, being quiet.
My girls love it. They do. They absolutely love it. And then I got a buddy or two buddies that we trap with, and they, we get excited. We're like little kids out there, running around the field.
Oh yeah,
I got one over here.
Right. Coyote hunting's different. You got to watch your wind. You got to sit quiet, but you're sitting like 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
So you'll sit at a set, and you'll call at night, which we all run night vision, but it's pretty fun. That's sitting, but it's still different though, because deer season, you're sitting at a long period of time.
Oh yeah, hours upon hours.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're hoping something comes your way.
Right.
Coyote, you sit 15 minutes and you're calling. Usually if nothing comes in the first 5 minutes, you're probably not going to see anything.
It's definitely a different mindset behind it,
Right.
It's tactically speaking, and like you said, just anxious. It's just a different mindset.
Yeah, and you're constantly waiting, because anytime, bam, something could come out.
Right around the corner.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's fun. But then rabbit season, like I said, we have dogs, so you let the dogs go. You go with buddies, friends, family, whoever you go with. You're sitting there, you're talking, shooting the crap, having a good time. Oh, dogs kick one up.
Yep.
So you just kind of spread out a little bit, and the dogs will run them in a big circle right to you, and you take turns. It's a good time. I mean, it's a nice breakup from sitting all the time.
Yep. So awesome. Well, hey, everybody, we definitely thank you for listening. Jeremy, personal thanks for coming out and enjoying some beer with us and everything. It's been an awesome time.
Had some fun.
We'll definitely have you on for later to talk about some trapping and stuff for sure. So,
absolutely. Look forward to it.
Other than that, everybody be safe this coming holiday weekend and everything. And as always, be safe
and shoot straight.
Back on.